Coach, game day, now you're on the road here for this series. How are the guys feeling going into this very big game for you?
They're excited. Anytime you have an opportunity to play in the playoffs against a team that's such a rival that you dislike as much as we do with them, they're excited. You'd certainly love to be up 2-0, but it's 1-1. It's a hard series. We expected it to be a hard series, and we're looking forward to tonight.
You come back into this building, do you get flashbacks of last year's series?
Yeah, I think we've been here so many times since. It's probably not as much like if it was our first time back, but obviously we've been good in this building. We had won a big game obviously in the playoffs last year in Game 5, but we were good in this building in the regular season as well. So the guys know how hard it is to play in this building, and we'll be ready for that.
What's the message also to the guys with having the lead last game and then going to overtime to make sure once you have those leads to potentially hold on to those leads?
I mean, we're not going to dwell on it. You learn, you move forward. In the playoffs, you need a short memory, win or lose. So you learn a couple things, you move forward. Part of holding the lead is also scoring more, and getting a third goal to get up a couple more or whatever it is. You're not going to just hold on to leads at 1-0 or 2-0. They're one of the best teams in the American League. They're going to get their chances. So some of that is also converting more offensive opportunities as well.
So one of the things you were talking about after Game 2 was needing to be better in the face-off dot and getting sticks underneath theirs. Is that anything you address in practice, or was that game just kind of an anomaly?
Well, no, it's not an anomaly. I mean, they're a heavy team, so they're good at the front of the nets, etc. It might be an anomaly in terms of how many face-off goals end up in the net. So, but those are things you work on and you adjust. There's adjustments every game. They make adjustments, we make adjustments. Then something works for us, and they adjust to that. Something works for them, we adjust back to that. So that's part of it. We were able to work on some things in practice, but some of that stuff is also just in video, and the guys learning from that.
You did talk about adjustments. I don't know if you'll tip your hand here, but are there any lineup changes?
Neuchev is going to get back into the lineup tonight. So we shuffled 2 lines around a little bit as well. But Neuchev and Oslin will be on the wing with Richards. And then Kozak moves to wing with Kulik and Roseanne.
I ask, is that just for seeing something different in practice? Oslin had been with Kulik and Roseanne. Why the change?
Part of playing a team like Syracuse, as heavy as they are, you need to get pucks back. You need to force turnovers, create turnovers against a team like this. They're a possession-oriented team. They're a heavy team. They're a veteran team. And Kozak is probably the best on our team at forcing turnovers, creating turnovers because of his forechecking and his physicality. And so, in your mind, you're like, well, that gives the puck to Kulik and Roseanne more. It gives them a little bit of a net front presence as well in the offensive zone because that's where Kozak lives. And while still keeping Oslin with talented players, especially with Neuchev slotting back into the lineup.
Talked about how Syracuse offense is difficult. A year ago, Jeremy Davies and Joseph Ciccone were probably your go-to D pair. How have they fared through the first 2 games?
I thought they were excellent in Game 1, and they weren't quite as strong in Game 2. But they're also playing some of the best players in our division, if not the whole league. So, that's a hard matchup to win every night. They won that matchup in Game 1, and we have all the faith in the world in those 2 guys.
Zach got a chance as a rookie to play playoff hockey last year. That was not afforded to Ryan Johnson. What have you made of his sample size in postseason as a rookie?
I'd say this is probably similar. I thought he was had a real good Game 1. He was sloppy in Game 2. But he'll adjust. He's a young defenseman. You got 3 rookie defensemen, playing. Yes, Metsa played in the playoffs last year, but we still have 3 rookie defensemen playing. And, there's some growing pains that you go through in the season with them, and then there's growing pains in the playoffs you go through with them. But they'll learn from that, and they'll be better tonight for it.
I think you've said before, like, the venue isn't something as coaches you really look at too much, but you did have a terrific road record throughout the regular season. Does that bleed over for some confidence going into the road in the playoffs?
Sure, yeah. You got to ask these questions, but and they're good questions, and I understand why the fans and the media, but every game, especially in the playoffs, is its own entity. You know, momentum doesn't carry that much, and you really need to attack each game like it's its own game. But our guys, we've been good on the road all year. We've been good with our backs to the wall all year. We've been good in this building most of the year. So there's some confidence that you can draw from that, sure.